DCL Talk Show. Thursday, I'm doing it from India. We are we are going to discuss about first division, and today I have uh, uh, how do I say, four top guns here, and I'm sure we're going to have blast tonight. Uh, Full house, yeah, it's full house. Okay, let me quickly introduce our analyst tonight, and then jump into the games later. Okay, welcome to the show, Pradip.
Hey, Jagan, thank you. Welcome, MT. Welcome, Jesse. It's been a while since you've been on the radio show. Hopefully, MT, you're enjoying India. And for me, as usual, it's going to be fun. Looking forward to the show.
Welcome to the show, Imti. Imti is joining from India, just like me.
Hey, hey, Jagan. Thanks. It's good to be back on the show. Welcome to all our listeners for yet another episode of DCL Talk Show. And I'm glad that we have a full house and looking forward to the shows.
Welcome to the show, Sammy.
Thank you, Jagan. Pleasure being with everybody here.
See, before I introduce our next guest, I just would like to give two sentences. I'll talk two sentences here. One, I'll force Samish to join the show, and I'll demand Pradip to join this show. So I can't change that. Okay, welcome to the show, Jesse. After a very long break,
Yeah,
and it's pleasure to have you back. Welcome to the show.
yeah. All pleasure is mine, Jagan. Thank you so much, and thank you everybody on the panel, Samish, Pradeep, Imti, for getting me on the show again. And I'm so glad I'm back here and talking about the thing that we love most, cricket, and the league that is so dear and near to us. So yeah, really excited. Missed a lot of fun. Was in India, but yeah, looking forward to it both on the radio show and as well as on the field as well.
Actually, I thought at least three will be on the show tonight from India. But when I pinged Jesse, he said he reached India just a week before, a couple of days before I pinged, I think. So otherwise, three from India, two from US. So now it is okay. But anyhow, it's always exciting to do anything from India about cricket, that too happening in a different part of the world. And so before I jump into our games, I already asked this question to you guys, so I'm going to ask this to Jesse. Jesse, how do you feel about these two divisions? Good, bad?
I
What
yes,
do you say?
I particularly like the idea of these two divisions. This, uh, especially because when we had a lot of teams, when the teams count gone up to like 40 plus, it was, I think, pretty sure it was around 40 last year. So there there were a lot of teams which could not compete with the top 5 or top 8 or top 10 teams, and the distribution could not be handled in a way 100% that there would be there would be at least 2 to 3 contests from 12. I think more than that, if I can say 4 to 5 matches or contests which were not uh, not intriguing in the sense that they were not competitive enough, which could be demoralizing for a team whose players are still trying to find their feet as to how this ball is played, as to experience brings a lot of things, talent brings a lot of things. So I think with these two divisions, every Saturday, I think every player would wake up and uh, would find himself in a spot where he has to be at his best, he has to give his best, and there is no complacency that can creep in. And cricket, I think, no matter if it is high scoring or low scoring, as long as it is competitive, I think that's the most fun part of playing and watching this cricket. So I think it's good for the players, it's good for the viewership, it's good for the people who are following it. I'm all in for this division. Yes.
See one difference that I found with this division is, I mean, the indication of how competitive these games are is, we haven't seen even a single century, though we are coming to the end of the season. Another two games, I think regular season is over, and we haven't
Exactly.
seen any century. So that says
Yep.
a lot.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
with that, With that, we'll quickly jump into our last week games. So give me 1 second, guys. Okay, the first game of the night. Um,
Raptors
can you get?
MCC Miles.
Yeah, can you guys hear me? Because
Yep, we
suddenly,
can hear you.
okay, my computer got locked. I don't know what I did. It's frozen, but as long as you guys can hear, I'm okay. Okay, the first game of the night is United Raptors versus MCC Miles. Pradeep, your favorite team again in a close game. Okay, what do you
Yeah,
say?
yeah. No, I also got a front row seat to this game. I was umpiring this one.
Oh,
It
fantastic.
was a pretty good. Yeah, it was a great game actually. It was really good. It could have gone either way in the end. I think Raptors kind of held their nerve and put some pressure, but it could have easily gone MCC Miles' way as well. So it was a fun game to be a part of. The two on the batting side, Raptors batting first. The the second wicket partnership was the critical partnership there, 32 runs. And then, of course, between second and third wicket partnership, there was another 25 runs partnership there. So that was the crucial one with Harsha Alluri scoring 25 and Butta scoring 16. And the last three wicket partnership, that was the 40 plus run partnership between the three wickets. So that was the game changer in my view. There was, Vikas contributing in the end, Amir contributing in the end, 9 balls, 12 runs. That got them to 103, which I think is a pretty good total. But of course, you're playing in Woodhaven, so that's actually a pretty good pitch to bat on. The ball comes to the bat very well. The bounce is pretty good. Uh, Occasionally, the balls might keep low, but it's a overall pretty good pitch to bat on. So MCC Miles put on a pretty decent score, I felt, 103, losing only 7 wickets. Raptors bowling was kind of par, I want to say, with Praneeth, Aditya, and Hemant taking 2 wickets each. But MCC Miles did what they were supposed to do, put a decent total on the scorecard. And MCC Miles actually said that was Raptors. MCC Miles chasing. The only 3 contributions in the top order was, Krishna, Aditya, Sanjay. They kind of got a pretty good, decent start, I want to say. But I think the middle order and the tail enders kind of panicked in the end. They continued to lose wickets at a frequent interval after 3 or 4 wickets, I think. Yeah, actually, after 4 wickets. If you look at they were only 4 wickets down at 72 at 18 overs. So they had the game in hand, I want to say, but then they lost quick wickets towards the end. And Raptors held their nerve. They really did well in the end, bowling tight lines and setting up and even though the last 3 overs by default was power play, MCC Miles couldn't do much there. The bowlers did a pretty good job of holding their line and length. The key bowlers for Raptors, in my view, is Harsha, taking 3 wickets, Krishna and Amir taking 2 wickets each. So they have added a couple of guys, which I think made a big difference. Overall, great game for Raptors, winning a close one. I think they've made it a habit this year to win close games or lose close games. But either way, this was a good game for Raptors overall.
I think one of the best games of the weekend.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, the next game of the night is Stars versus Detroit Bulls. Imti, your thoughts on this game? This one looks, on the paper, it looks one-sided.
Yeah,
Yeah, go on. Sorry.
another disappointing week for Stars. I think the last few weeks have been difficult for them, where they have lost some key games, and this week it came down to being a critical game for them. But again, ended up losing this one. Summary, again, looking at the scorecard, like you mentioned, it looks like a one-sided game. And Stars batting first were only able to put 79 on the board, got all out in the 25th over. Again, if you look at the batting lineup, there's not much to talk about there except for that one big partnership for the 6th wicket, where Arun and Shashank put together like 51 run partnership. And if you take that partnership out of this batting scorecard, the first 5 wickets were lost for 19 runs, and then after that partnership, another 5 wickets gone for 9 runs. So when you're looking at a collapse like this, again, like that is where I think Stars really lost the game, like where they lost wickets and in bunch, and then they were only able to put 79. Again, if you take out that 50-run partnership, like you're really looking at 20 or 30 runs on the scoreboard, right? So I think it was a great bowling effort from Detroit Bulls, not taking away anything. Even though Stars were missing a few players in this game, I think Detroit Bulls stuck to their consistent performance. And pick of the bowlers was Nikhil, who picked 4 wickets, Nikhil Sunny, who picked 4 wickets, Vatsal, Gino, Swapnil, all among wickets. And I think if you look at the economies also, right, so they were very well under 3-4 runs per over. So I think it was tight bowling, and they just stuck to their basics and got Stars all out for 79. Going into the chase, I think they had a good chance of getting these runs, and I think with the bowling of Stars, they really didn't have that penetration in this game, and the first wicket partnership just took the game away from Stars. Nikhil and Tanmay putting up 52 runs among themselves. Nikhil Sunny scoring 25, Tanmay scoring 33, not out. And then once Gino came, he made sure he stayed there and took Detroit Bulls across the line. So overall, it was a one-sided game, I would think. Detroit Bulls a very good win against Stars and looking pretty in the points table as well. Stars, I think, need to kind of revisit and look. They have a break this week. Hopefully, they get things in order and bounce back in the coming games. I just got to know that Jasneet was umpiring this game. So, your thoughts? Anything you want to add, Jesse?
You might be on mute, Jesse.
I don't know. Maybe he was not expecting me to. So, yeah,
Probably,
that's all
I'll
from me. If anybody wants to add anything, yeah.
They're just missing you, Imti. That's what's going on.
Yes, I think the
Stars,
saving grace for this game is missing a couple of key players. Like Imti is not there. I think Ravi Teja is also not there, right?
yeah, Deepak
Yeah,
is there.
so Deepak, Raviteja, we're missing Mahesh and I are in India. So, yeah,
Yeah,
definitely there was, going into the game, we knew that we were going thin with
short-handed.
a lot of availability, yes, issues. But even then, I think at least giving a fight would have made sense, but that was missing here.
You guys have done that when we were playing against you. Hmm. Okay,
All
the
in all, I think,
next.
yep. Go ahead.
Okay, the next game of the night is Hitman versus FCC. Jesse, are you there?
Yeah, Jagan, I'm here.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so another tight game. I don't think as tight as Raptors versus MCC Miles, but yes, tight enough or close enough to talk pretty interestingly about it. And Hitman, having batted first, made sure that there was no collapse and they were on par with what they wanted to achieve. I think Santosh, Niranjan, and Mohammad Fazal Ahmed, all three of them made sure that they were getting enough runs throughout and their run rate was never dipping way too much that they had to pull a rabbit out of the hat suddenly. They were going on par with the run rate, and with DCL there is always assistance for bowlers if they are pitching in the right area. So they were losing wickets, yes, but they were having decent enough partnerships which landed them up with a score of 112, which is very competitive. Even if we are talking about now like 3 to 4 years with the new ball, with the hard one, but still I think 112 with the bowling prowess that Hitmen possess in some of the very talented Bangladeshi folks. I think they were pretty convinced that they had a winning score, which looked like the case as well when they started defending that total of 112 and absolutely had FCC on the carpet by the break time when there were 6 down, and then immediately after the break they were 7 down and with just, I think, 30 odd runs on the board. But if anything, we are talking about this game as a close contest. Every accolade has to go to only one guy, Bhuvan. He played a magnificent inning, even having short of partners. He found decent company at the other end in the name of Chandan, and then little bit support from Tejas as well in the end. But to come back and to have a belief that 34 for 7 in 13th over, and we can still, think about chasing another 80 odd runs in the last 12 overs with just 3 wickets in hand. I think it takes a huge, not just the cricket skills, but this proves that Bhuvan has a very, very strong head on his shoulders, and he managed his innings. He hit decent enough boundaries, but with a strike rate almost at 100, it doesn't mean that he was only looking for boundaries. He was still, detaching the fact that he doesn't have any more players to come and there would be someone else who could finish the job. So he kept on believing in himself, kept on reminding that if this game has to go in FCC favor, it has to come from his bat, and he almost pulled it off. Like, I know after coming so close, this would be haunting him for a long, long time, that it was right in front of him and he could have snatched it out of Hitman's hand. But I have to bow my hat to Bhuvan here, because to make a match out of this and to make everybody on the ground believe and to keep even Hitman honest. I mean, there is complacency, of course, when you are defending 112 and you have other team rolling on 34 for 7. You are almost like, going through the formalities of, okay, this is going to end in 15, 16, 17 overs maybe. But to have that self-belief, to keep on playing those shots, to keep on defending the balls which are not there to be hit and taking the game deep, I think a special effort from just one person to have taken this game so close, and he would be disappointed. But I think he should be so proud of what he has done. If not this game, I think this is going to put him at least in a very good space, because this has not come against a average or a mediocre bowling lineup with Imran, Mahfouz, and Aditya and everybody in Hitman's bowling lineup. I think it was a brilliant effort, and still a lot of credit has to go to Hitman for finally realizing that this game has become tighter than what they have thought, actually way tighter than what they have thought or what they would have liked. But to get those points in the end, I think magnificent effort from Hitman as well. But essentially they were just competing against one man. So both sides deserve a lot of applause for having played a game like this.
It's more of joy than relief for Hitman
Yes.
with this game.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Just
The next game. Yeah.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Sammy.
I was just going to say that, in short, it was probably your kind of inning that Bhuvan played.
That's why I had to talk about him so much. I don't think my type of inning, I don't know, but I have been in these situations so many times where I've tried to get close and could not win it. So I know it's gonna haunt no matter how much you want to believe that you have done a great job. But I think it would put him in a very good space going forward in the tournament and even in the next.
Pretty sure it's a confidence builder for sure.
Yes.
Okay, the next game of the night is Canton Hurricanes versus Strikers. Strikers labor to win this game. Okay, but see, this is how I feel. Strikers are only threat to Gladiators. For remaining all, I don't know how they play. They play very easily. What do you say, Samish? With the exception of Gladiators.
Well, I guess they always target one team. It used to be GLCC, and luckily it's not us anymore. So I'm glad it's Gladiators. But yeah, overall, I think it was a good game. Again, Canton Hurricanes still looking for their first win of the season. I hadn't realized that they hadn't won any games so far, although many of these games have been close, but they haven't been able to close any of these games. And again, yeah, I mean, what I'm seeing on the scorecard is mostly one-man show, both the bowling and batting wise when it comes to Canton Hurricanes. Canton, they batted first, and if you see the scorecard, there was only one person who actually did bulk of scoring. So I guess he was Amit Sivarai. He scored 72 out of 94. I guess he was Bhuvan of Canton Hurricanes.
So that's, just to add, I don't want to miss this point. That is the highest score for any highest individual score for this season.
For this season, and if you take the extras out, so there were 72 by him, 12 extras. Rest of the team has only scored 10 runs, and that's got to be disappointing. 10 people have scored 10 runs, and then one guy has given such a great start. So I think Amit was let down by his team. A lot of credit probably goes to Sujay Yarwa. He's a left-arm spinner, pretty good bowler. Captain of strikers, he took 6 wickets for 6 runs in his 5 overs. And, I think he did bulk of the damage along with him. Parthi bowled pretty well. He gave 8 runs in 3 overs. But besides that, I see that all bowlers, most of the bowlers have given a lot of runs, most of the regular bowlers. At least 15 runs in 5 overs, which is quite a bit in this league. And you look at the extras, everybody has given 1 or 2 extras. So if not for Sujay, maybe Canton Hurricanes would have gotten a much bigger total, especially with Amar scoring 72 runs. But chasing the total, I think strikers did a decent job. They may have lost 2 early wickets, but then they had good partnerships between Sarvesh and Parthiv. Then Sujay chipped in with 21 runs, a good all-round captain's innings, and good game for the captain. Ketan scored 15 with 1-4, and I wouldn't say they struggled, Jagan, because in the end they scored their 95 runs with bonus point, I believe. So although they lost 7 wickets, but I think they seemed pretty comfortable until they lost 2 wickets, 3 wickets, 4th, 5th, and 6th, between 68 to 72 runs, which is something they might need to look at, right? In DCL, you do not want to lose wickets in bulk. But overall, it was a good game for strikers. Not much talk about Canton bowling, except for Deepak Srivastava, took 3 wickets for 14 runs. He was the pick of the bowlers. And they only gave 7 extras, which is, pretty decent when you're bowling in hot sun. So, good game for strikers there.
Okay, the next game of the night is Troy Hawks versus Hawks. These Hawks, they don't know. These 2 teams. It's very hard to predict when they are going to play well. Imti, your thoughts? Imti, you're on mute.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Troy Hawks versus Hawks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this game, I think, on the paper, it looks like a one-sided game where Troy Hawks really dominated the entire proceedings. Troy Hawks batting first, put up a huge score of 121 in 25 overs, just losing 4 wickets in the process. And thanks to Mustafa Malik, who scored 61 from 70 balls with 2 4s and 2 6ers, stayed not out in the process, carried the innings through. And I think it was just that the other players around him just supported him and put up partnerships in the process. Natraj and Venu in the end also putting up some good scores of 18 and 17 extras, also 15 extras from Hawks, helping the cause and eventually putting up that score of 121 for Troy Hawks. Hawks bowling, I thought they used 8 bowlers trying to kind of get some breakthroughs in the middle. But ended up using 8 bowlers. Again, Naresh Arkat, their captain, was the pick of the bowlers with 2 wickets in his 5 over quota. But I thought Troy Hawks really stuck to their uh, uh, batting lineup, and I think Mustafa Malik has been consistent for them, and I think this game also proving again that he is a key in their batting lineup. Natraj and Venu, my personal opinion, Natraj should bat a little up in the order because he can play those long innings for them. But nevertheless, I think Mustafa Malik covered all the gaps in this one, putting up that score, and they made 121 in the process. Hawks going into bat had a very tough ask because they needed at least 1 or 2 big scores in that lineup, but that did not happen. They lost wickets in the front. Um, Again, like not much to talk about in the batting. Only one double-digit score there from Jnana Vamsi. But again, like not really any uh, uh, big contribution in the batting order. I thought they folded up for 56 in 20 overs. But when you're chasing 121, like you need at least one of the top 4 to go long, go big, and kind of other players rotate around him. But that did not happen for Hawks. I think Hawks, after having impressive 2 seasons in the past, I think this season they somehow have fizzled down, and I think it's even showing in their performances. Bowling for Troy Hawks, I think they had that cushion with the score on board, and they just had to bowl some economical spells, and that's what they did in the process. Almost all the bowlers picking up wickets. Pick of the bowlers, Vijay Batina, 3 wickets for 7 runs. Then Fahad and Mayank picking a couple of wickets each. Mustafa Malik also contributing in the bowling section with 1 wicket in his 2 overs. So overall, a well-deserved man of the match for Mustafa Malik, and really helping Troy Hawks put that win uh, for them. Uh, Again, even though Troy Hawks won this game, it was only their second victory. Uh, but still, I think they still have 4 or 5 more games left. So hoping that they continue this winning season and maybe get into the top 6 and then qualify. So hopefully that happens.
Okay, the next game of the night is Fighters versus Gladiators. This season is not um, going well for Gladiators. Your thoughts, Jesse?
Yeah, another great game of cricket where uh, fighters uh, scored in excess of 125. That means uh, gladiators were chasing a run rate over than 5 from the very beginning, which becomes very difficult. But will not jump over how fighters managed to score those runs. We'll first talk about the batting innings of fighters, and I think the prime contributor there is Sainath, and this guy is a beast. I would say this. I've seen him played a few games with him also in some other tournaments, and having played a lot of games against him, uh, he's just that sort of a person who takes the game away from you without you even realizing how far this has gone from our reach.
Yeah, yeah, pain in the ass.
Yeah, yeah. So uh,
Yeah,
I, I did not watch a single ball of this game, but if I see the scorecard and I see 2 4s in front of Sainath, I can put all my chips and bet on the fact that those two has to be on the square leg boundary. Anything fraction short, this guy jumps on to it like he's on a hunt and he's a lion looking for a prey, and once you start to adjust your line and length, this would be resulting in something driven into the offside or just pushed on the offside. But he's so athletic, he's so aware about the actual method of scoring runs in DCL, in this particular league, that if the bowler adjusts his length either way, he can punish you. On short balls, he can punish you with the boundaries, and on the foolish lengths, he can drive those balls and he keep everybody on the toes on the ground, even not just the opponent. Yeah, he's a very, very, very fast runner, very good judge of singles and doubles. And as a fielding team, you won't realize it would already be around, so many runs would have already been scored once you start talking to each other and say, what is there that we are doing wrong? Are we not doing something that we are doing every game? But it is just the sheer brilliance of this particular guy, Sainath, which tends to show or make the opponent look so silly or naive in front of this genius. And every game, most of the games when Sainath clicks, it is a huge boost for fighters, because others, like in this particular game, Ravi Tej Pujari and Mahesh Babu, both of them are free stroke players. They like to play their shots, but when you have a platform like 13 over 74 before, like in the break time, if you are 65, 70 runs, the only thing you are talking from here is, let's not have a collapse. Let's not let opponent get back into the game. Even if we do not have to think about, okay, we have got 65, 75 in the break, we have to get as many as these in the second half as well. If you, with the bowling lineup that fighters have, I think they did a tremendous job by not going too much ahead of where they were, and just being at the present, having everybody played their part. Ravi Tej Pujari, you see, no boundaries, still a strike rate of 65. Mahesh Babu, no boundaries, in excess of 100 strike rate and scoring those significant 15. Mahi Masood, again, 16 of 16. So these are the contributions which, if you complement with an innings like Sainath that he plays, I think that keeps fighter in a very good space and gives them a lot of confidence, having scored 128 against a top-tier team like Gladiators, whose bowling lineup, I think, Hardeep, Satya, Suyog, all of them were tried, Taifur and Naeem. But I think fighters took special liking against Satya this game, who is pretty decent and good and always have led as an example for Gladiators in the past. But I think this was a one-off game for Satya as well. And he conceded, at almost a run rate of economy rate of 10. So 128, when fighters would have put it, I'm pretty sure the discussion would be, anything this would have done to Gladiators is make them more dangerous, because now they're not chasing a middle target of 60 or 70, where they could confuse themselves by getting into a state where, okay, we need to defend too much. Is the pitch doing something, or do we go all attack? This would have given them a clarity that, okay, the only way we can come out of this game as winners is we back ourselves, we play our strokes, because if we don't do that, we would be getting behind the game, and then we would have too much to chase in the latter half of the game. But they got an ideal start with Taifur and Umair, I think, putting upon in excess of 40 or exactly 40 in 8 overs. So perfect platform. But like I said, what fighters did pretty amazing was they kept on the momentum with them. They did not, even after Sainath left after the first half, they had contributions which kept them on course for a target that was, if that had to be chased, the second inning had to go from ball one to the last ball. A lot of special innings has to be played, a lot of special strokes has to be played, a lot of things has to go in the batting team favor if they are chasing in anything excess of 128, especially on a bowling lineup against fighters. But I think Gladiators felt that pressure eventually, even after a great start, and only Hardeep could resist a little bit with his knock of 17 runs. But credit to fighters for always believing and putting up performances like this, which always keep them in the high regards in any of the team playing, because I've seen them. They play as a unit. They like to back each other, and when they are on song, when they get a start, when they get their batters performing, I think that makes their bowling lineup look even more special than what they are. So a great game of cricket for fighters and disappointing performance by gladiators.
Yeah, Satya nowadays relying more on leg cutters than anything else. So
Yeah,
with the
that
leg
has always
cutters,
been his weapon. Yeah.
yeah, but he's using it more nowadays.
Yeah.
Out of 6 balls, I've seen. I was
Mm.
umpiring T90 games. Out of 6 balls, all 5 were leg cutters, and
Mm.
couple went. Couple were wides. One landed above the waist, no ball. But he was able to get wickets. But
Yeah.
yeah, there's a danger there. You can get wickets as well as if you err in line, leg cutters can go bad. Some
Yeah.
probably that might have happened in this game.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, uh, the next game of the night is GLCC versus Detroit Titans. Samish, let me ask a question and then you can start. Detroit Titans and GLCC, are these mirrors of each other? That's the first question, and
Are
then you
they
can
what?
start your analysis. Mirrors of each other in terms of playing style or the strength.
Uh, I wouldn't say that. I think where GLCC is better is the depth in batting and the firepower that GLCC has with batting. But Titans, on the other hand, they have this year they have been. I mean, every year they have decent bowling attack, but this year they have been taking a lot of wickets. If you see, a lot of their top 2-3 bowlers are among highest wickets in the league. So I think that's where there's a little difference, but I would agree with you that you know the, as a whole you can probably consider them similar teams. Uh, but I think the difference would be that GLCC hasn't really gotten their bowling settled yet, and but their batting is definitely much better than Titans, is what I feel. Okay, but having said that, Titans, I think they won the toss and they asked GLCC to bat, and with a little dampness and the sun out, I think GLCC started off pretty slow. We didn't have a great start. We lost Moodley early in the 6th over for 13 runs, and right after that, we lost Akash and Kaushik quickly. So GLCC was 20 runs for 3 wickets down. And after that, there was a good partnership between Hitesh and Hemant, who took the score to 66. Hemant played an amazing inning, mixing caution with a little bit of aggression, and same with Hitesh. Once he settles down, it's a pleasure to watch him bat. These guys can play some amazing shots on the offside, have a game to play on leg side, have power game to hit boundaries. So they did pretty well. But again, after that partnership, we again lost a few quick wickets. And we weren't, generally what has happened in past is that if GLCC has gotten a good start, the last few batters, Vamsi, Somit, they have been able to accelerate pretty quickly and give GLCC a decent total. Here, Titans bowled pretty tight in the end. We had Ronnie bowling on one end, there was Parag. So they did a good job not to give those boundaries away in the end. And I think GLCC in the end did pretty well to get to 98, considering the conditions of the pitch during the morning. But Titans, on the other hand, they did not really start off very well. They kept losing wickets at regular intervals. and at one point they were 48 for 7 actually. So it felt like the game was done and dusted. But then Ronnie Patel and Dwanit Patel, they had a very good partnership. A lot of it was, help from GLCC fielding, where we dropped a bunch of catches in this game, and yours truly dropped 2 himself. So we gave them a lot of chances, and they capitalized on those chances. Ronnie especially and Dwanit, they kept getting 1s and 2s in the end to get the total closer, or the target closer. And the game that seemed like was done and dusted at 48 for 7, they took it up to, needing just 9 runs in the last over. But in the end, GLCC was able to defend the target, and they won by 6 runs. So another good game, another close game, and a close game for GLCC again. I don't know if you've noticed, GLCC has not been able to grab the bonus points regularly in their wins. Either they do a big win, or most of their games have been close enough where they have not been able to clinch the bonus points, and this was one of those games as well. In the end, I think win-wise, both Titans and GLCC are at the same position right now, but Titans is still the top team in the group because of the extra bonus points that they have earned.
That's all.
Yeah, I mean, bowling was okay from both teams. I thought Samita actually bowled excellent for GLCC. Those figures that you are seeing don't do justice to his bowling. His bowling is when we dropped a few catches as well. So those could have been easily 6 wickets for 10 runs, but you're seeing 2 for 26. And Hitesh bowled very well. Kaushik and Hemant had great spells. So all in all, good effort, but I think GLCC needs to tighten their game up a little in both batting and bowling, and play as if they are playing playoffs here on, if they want to make a little difference and get to the distance in playoffs.
Okay, the next game of the night is Indus Thunders versus Dynamites. Pradip.
Yeah, this is a one-sided game. Indus winning comfortably. I thought, even though Indus started off okay, surprisingly, Malik only scored 4 runs of 22 balls, which is highly unusual for Malik's batting style. But Anirudh and Chetan really made a big difference in this game. They lost wickets in between. They had partnership, but Anirudh was the main guy, scoring 41 runs. He also had a 6 and a boundary, which I haven't seen Anirudh bat like that. I know he can hit boundaries, but 6, that's pretty good. That's special. 41 of 69 balls, that I think is a pretty good inning. And of course, Chetan coming in towards the end and scoring those brisk 29 runs of 27 balls with a boundary and a 6. I think that made the big difference. They were 18 overs, 57 runs. In the last 7 overs, they managed to score 50 or 45 runs, 45 runs. So that's the game breaker, I think, getting to a total of 102. Even though Indus didn't have the full roster, but they had enough to put on a decent total of 102. Dynamites, actually, let me see who bowled well. Yeah, so the 2 bowlers, Nauman and Rajkumar, taking 2 wickets each, but others, taking 1. Akhtar and Krishan.
Pradip, I'll interrupt you there. I was at the game, and Nauman was the reason why. Nauman was the reason why.
Malik wouldn't score.
Malik, he looks like he's bowling off cutters, but they turn a mile and they go the other way. So he's like the plane will start. And everybody there was trying to see what is he doing, how is he getting the ball to go out. And you see him, it looks like he's bowling a regular off spin.
Wow.
So I went and watched a few balls too, and it is amazing. But I think considering how he bowled, I thought Indus batted pretty well, especially Anirudh and Chetan in the end. Sorry, I'll let you take it from there.
Yeah, no, that's a good observation. I haven't seen him bowl, so I couldn't tell you, but I'm glad
I
you
think
shared that.
he's one of those Pakistani players, two PSL players. So yeah, Dynamite has some good bowling attack if they come with all of these guys at the same time.
And not just bowling. I think they tend to overthink a lot, right? Overanalysis. That I think is a part of the problem. But yeah, Nauman. And obviously 5 overs, 12 runs. That's a pretty good spell. Outside of that, I think Kushan was the only one who gave 3 runs per over. But yeah, Dynamite's chasing 102. That's a hard total. They didn't get a good start. The only 2 guys on this side were actually Murugan and Akhtar Khan. Murugan scoring 20, Akhtar scoring 14 or 14 balls, one with a 6. The rest didn't do much, but Sai, I think, was probably towards the end, gave him a good stand. But 71 getting all out is below par for Dynamites, because Indus Standard didn't have Manoj, Dinesh, and the other guys either. So, but anyway, on the bowling side, Rahul taking 3 wickets, Chetan obviously doing his magic with 2. And Vijay Verma taking 2. So this was an easy win for Indus. I think they're getting the momentum back going into the playoffs. I think they can be dangerous.
Yeah, Indus is always dangerous, but Dynamite's thinking is what makes me wonder. See, if you look at Arun Selvaraj, who used to open, he's at the bottom. So that's you need a lot of guts to make a change like that. Your opener becomes the last wicket.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. Last game of the night, FCC versus Pokeries. Jesse, your thoughts? I think Pokeries dominated this one.
Yep. Pretty convincing victory for Pokeries, and I think FCC played 2 games this weekend. I think this must be a rained-out game that was played on Thursday. And so assuming this is a night game, then FCC batted first and could only manage 75. Pokeries has always been a tight-knit unit where they know their roles. Everybody chips in with whatever they are being asked to do, and they kept on getting wickets at the regular intervals. And only Pradip could had some resistance with his 22, and unfortunately he got run out. That's the worst thing to happen to a person who was looking the only guy who could take a little bit of an attack to the opposition and was scoring at a brisk rate as well, over 60 strike rate. And but after that, I think again, as soon as he departed, nobody could take up the challenge that Pokeries bowlers were throwing at them, and they bundled out for 75. And in the bowling, I think it was a collective effort with Vignesh, Raghu, and Sudarshan, all of them amongst the wickets, and Manoj Prabhakar as well. So they were a good bowling attack from the very beginning, but I think they have added a couple of players who made them a real threat going into the playoffs as well. And when they started to chase, I think they got a disaster start, and having lost first couple of wickets in just first 2 overs with a scorecard reading only 2, I think it was up to the 2 very experienced and technically very strong and sound players like Saran and Neil. Both of them, they are accumulators. They just don't give away like Sai. Sai is just a little bit, too much athletic also on the field. But I've seen Saran and Neil also from close quarters, and I'm assuming this must be a typical Saran and Neil partnership where the opponent would be throwing a lot of challenges towards them, but they would be milking them around, finding the gaps, and just no hurry, no shortcuts, no leaving anything for others. And while you are in, you just make sure that you have achieved the target, and that satisfaction you are not leaving out there for anybody else to finish off the game. And that's how these players make up a great team. That's why the team like Poker has always been fighting for the trophy. This is so unfortunate that they haven't won it so far, but they have been knocking the doors for so many years now. They've played, I think, the most finals as far as I can remember in the last 10 years. But I think it's the players like Saran, Neil, Ranjit, and everybody else, Raghu, that makes Vicky, that makes this a special team. And I think they proved it under the lights also. They made a cakewalk of a target set of 75 by FCC. So a pretty convincing victory for Pokeries, and another, I think, barring Bhuvan's magnificent innings in the game against Hitman, I think FCC had a pretty disappointing week of cricket.
Okay, we have completed all the games, and let's quickly jump into predictions. Okay, our first game of the night: Red Devils versus Toy Hawks. Pradip, I think Red Devils all the way. Any objections?
Yeah.
Nope. I'm good with that.
No.
Okay. The next one is Legends versus United Raptors. Nowadays, I don't know. I started disliking the way Legends are playing. Okay, so I would like to go round table for this one. Pradip, what do you say?
Yeah, I'll go with Legends on this one.
Imti.
Yeah, I'll pick Legends too.
Okay, Samish.
Legends, just to upset you.
Oh my God. Okay, Jesse, what do you say?
Yeah, I haven't seen too much of both these teams play, but what I've seen in the last year and a half from Pradeep Bota, I think he's oozing class. He is back to his very best that he was, that he always possessed. He's just a class act, and I think with the sort of team that he has this year, with the additional responsibility of spending most of the time on the pitch while he's batting, has given him wings that is making him fly. I don't know about other performances, but whenever I see him bat for the last year and a half, and especially in some of the games this year as well, I think he's looking very dangerous. And with the sort of youngsters that the Raptors and Bota have been able to infused into the attack, like Pradip was umpiring, and he was mentioning there were a couple of other good bowlers who supported their cause against MCC Miles. I'll go with United Raptors this game.
Okay, 3-1. Let's see what happens. The next one is KRCC versus Detroit Titans. I'll skip Jesse here. With Jesse back, I think KRCC looks good. What do you say, Pradip?
Yeah, KRCC is getting their mojo back. I think they're getting their confidence and their momentum back, and with Jesse coming back into the lineup, I think that's going to make a difference. I'll go with KRCC on this one.
Imti.
Yeah, I'll definitely back KRCC to win this one, even though Detroit Titans have been consistent, won most of their games. But I think KRCC, the last 4 games that they played, they have won, so they're in a good momentum.
Samish.
Yeah, KRCC, because they are KRCC.
Okay. Then the next game of the night is Hawks versus Fighters. I think this is a tough one. Pradip. Hawks versus Fighters.
Yeah, I'll go with Fighters.
Fighters.
I think.
Imti.
I mean, the Hawks do have the ability to surprise them, but they've lost the confidence. I think that's what they need to get back. But they could definitely play spoil sport on this one.
See, there isn't anything called confidence for Hawks. Either they play good or they play bad. Okay, that's all.
Yeah.
Okay, Imti,
I'll pick fighters, but I'm just curious why you said this would be a tough one, Jagan.
because of the unpredictability of Hawks. That's all,
Okay.
and fighters too.
Fighters for
So
me
you're
too, Jagan.
fighters for you too. Okay, Jesse.
Yeah, I'll back fighters, but I think Hawks have the right set of individuals in their team. They have a great leader in Naresh Harkat. They have some very good individuals. I think they need to do a lot of soul searching. They should not have been where they are in this season. And I think if they find the right right sort of mindset, and if they have an honest conversation between each one of them, I think this could be a game that can go closer than what we are thinking. But with the performance that fighters put up against Glads, I think they would be oozing with confidence, and I'll back fighters to win this one.
So it's 4-0 fighters. Okay, Imti, when are you coming back to India?
End
You
of the
mean
month.
US?
End of the month. Okay, I'm also
Yeah.
coming at the end of the month. Okay, I'm thinking Hawks are going to win this one. If Hawks win, you four buy me dinner. Otherwise, I buy dinner to all four of you.
Jagan,
Okay,
we'll all
and
buy you a beer
we
on
will
the
be
same
Jagan,
doing
day.
show. We will be doing the
We'll all
show.
buy you a beer on the same day. So let's do that.
Jagan, you already owe me 2 dinners already, so
Oh, I think it's other way, Imti.
no. Go
Imti,
back and
I've been
listen to the
waiting for
recording.
dinner since 2001, man.
Okay, let's
Okay.
see.
That,
See, and we will do a show together in a restaurant next time. Okay, based.
Sure. As long as
Okay,
you're paying, Jagan.
yeah. Say Hawks versus Fighters. That is the game. Remember. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. The next one is Miles versus FCC. Um, I think we should give it to Miles, but Miles is again very unpredictable. So Pradip.
Yeah, I'll go with Miles, but hopefully Miles will get their full roster back.
Hmm.
But FCC's been playing well. I mean, they're playing fearless cricket right now. So, you can't take them lightly, but I'll go with Miles on this one.
Imti.
yeah, for me, this one is a tough one to pick because both the teams have been unpredictable, to be honest, on and off kind of thing. But based on the points table, I think MCC Miles has a slight edge, and I'll go with MCC Miles just for that fact.
Samish.
Yeah, me too, Jagan. I'd like FCC to win, but I think Miles has it. And actually, their team looks pretty scary if everybody is available. They might,
Okay.
make some upsets in playoffs if they
So
get
you're
there.
going with MCC Miles?
Yes.
Okay. But the way you started, me too. That sounds, nowadays it has a total different meaning. Okay.
Okay. You
Okay, Jesse.
can take whatever meaning you want, Jagan.
Okay. Jesse.
Yeah, I'll pick MCC Miles. So can anybody tell me if MCC Miles how is their qualification looking? Are they qualifying? Are they in the hunt? Are they out of the
They
hunt or
probably
whatever?
need one or two wins.
They are
They
currently on
are
number
five.
6.
Yeah.
Yeah, then I think if they are still in the hunt, I think MCC Miles. I'll back them to win this one. Yeah.
Okay. The next one is Pokeries versus Dynamites. This is going to be a crazy game. Yet, and I think Pokeries are going to win this one. Though Dynamites have the best bowling attack in DCL right now. Any objections there? Pokeries all the way.
Agree, Jagan. I don't think they know what to do with these bowlers, and they have very brittle batting.
Yeah.
So I'd go with Pokey too, especially with two left-hand spinners, and both are very
Okay.
good left-hand spinners.
The next one is GLCC versus Gladiators. I'll skip Samish here. I'll start with Pradip.
I'll go with GLCC. I
I
don't
thought
think
so.
Glads. yeah, I don't think Glads. It's not because I prefer GLCC. It's just because Glads have not proven that they're the Glads from the past. So until they, I mean, they're running out of time, really. They'll make the top 6, make it to playoffs, but they need to do a better job of playing better, I think. I think their bowling is their biggest weakness this year.
I think they'll come fully loaded
Yeah,
for
I
this
think
game. That's
the
what I'm
difference
thinking.
is going to be that they'll come with a full team, and I think their full team is still good enough to beat anybody.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
I know I was not supposed to talk, but
You're banned. Okay. Okay. So you're picking GL. Imti, your thoughts?
Yeah, another close one, I would say, based on GLCC has been like winning games. The last 2 games they have won, and Gladiators, I think, have a very strong reason that they need to come back after losing the last week's game. So I like Samish Bhai was mentioning, they might come back with the full strength team. So that makes this game more interesting. Uh, Again, like just based on my gut feeling, I will go with Gladiators. Sorry, Samish Bhai.
no issues at all. We want to go as underdogs.
Jesse, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think that's the mouth-watering contest of this week. Two loaded sides. I mean, I know results haven't gone the way Gladiators would have wanted this year, but a team like Gladiators, I think they take a lot of pride in putting results week after week. But like I said, this season has been an roller coaster for them, where they've lost games, which even they are figuring out why and how they managed to do that. But on the other hand, they have no time to think about, or no time to do that soul searching, and they are up against a team which has all the ingredients to. I know Samish said underdogs, but they cannot go underdogs by any means against any team. So I think that's a contest everybody has their eye on, and it's like picking the best among the equals. So if I flip a coin, and if I have to say, with the momentum that GLCC have gained, and the sort of individuals that are in form, and having won a game against Titans last week, which needed everybody to chip in and contribute. And even though, like Samish said, that they dropped a lot of chances, I think they will be doing a tidy work, and I think GLCC is going to have this one. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay. See, if Gladiators lose to GLCC here, next they are playing against KRCC. The only easy game they have is the last game against Canton Hurricanes. It's going to be very, very tough for them to maintain the spot. It is that much I
And
can say.
Jagan, I've always said never underestimate the champions, and I'm pretty sure they'll come with a good team. I'll say that again
So
about every
see, in a
series that has
system,
run in
in
the
a
past.
system where we are playing now in the division format,
Right.
every game is a tight game. There is nothing. So I don't call anybody champions because
No, I'm just saying it's not. I wouldn't write them off, right? That's all
no.
I'm
See, I
saying.
mean, so that's what I'm trying to say. Nobody can be written off. That's what
Right.
I'm trying to say. Yeah. Okay. Anybody can win. Okay.
Yeah.
See, if you look at Troy Hawks, okay, some of the games, I don't know. When I look at them, you know, they're playing exceptional game in one weekend, and the other weekend completely opposite way. So the same with Hawks, same with Hitmen. So they're competing.
Right.
Every team is competing right now. So the next game is Indus Thunders versus Hitmen. Okay, I think Indus Thunders all the way. Any objections there?
No.
No. Okay, the last game of the night is Troy Hawks versus Strikers. I'm giving it to Troy Hawks. Any objections?
Uh,
I
Surprisingly, nobody's saying anything.
No,
No, I
strikers,
think
strikers for me.
I think.
I'll back
Sorry.
Strikers this game. Yeah.
Strikers,
Yeah, I
okay.
think Sujay
Jesse
Yeruvavan
is
makes a
Strikers,
difference.
Imti is Strikers, Samish, you?
Strikers too. I think Sujay
3
will make a
strikers.
difference.
What do you say, Pradip. Pradip's on mute.
It's past his bedtime. Jagan.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. No, I was saying, yeah, 4-0 strikers.
4-0 strikers. Okay, I'm still
Yeah.
betting on Tri-Hawks. Okay, with that, we have completed all the games, and we will conclude the show with the last word from our analysts. I'll start in the reverse way. I'll start with Jesse.
Yep. Thank you again for having me back on the show, and it was great fun, like it always have been, and looking forward to all the games so that we can have a great discussion next week as well. And I think the weather has improved from last week. Last week was very, very hot and humid. Hopefully, the sort of contests that we have this weekend, we would have some nail-biting finishes. Long live cricket.
Okay, Samish.
Yeah, thank you, Jagan, and it was fun having Jesse back and Imti back on the show. It was not just three of us this time, but always good to listen to both these legends of DCL. And yeah, had a great time today. Good luck to all the teams for the next game.
Imti.
Yeah, thanks again to all our listeners, and it's good to be back on the show. Missed it for a few weeks. Again, some good games that we had in the past, and hoping to have some more good games for next week's show. Thanks, Samish, bye, Pradip, Jesse. Good that you're back on the show, and thanks, Jagan, and all the best to all the teams.
Pradip.
Yeah, it was fun. Glad to have you guys back on the show, Inti and Jesse. Jesse, your deep analysis is really, really insightful. This is now the exciting part of the leg, right? Getting closer to the playoffs, every points count. I think hopefully the weather's going to stay cooler this weekend. But yeah, stay hydrated, have fun. This is going to be exciting couple of weeks going forward. So I'm looking forward to it. Thanks, Jagan.
Okay. Thank you, Jesse. Thank you, Samish. Thank you, MT. And thank you, Pradip. And thank you, all listeners. Good night.
Good night.